Morning, and thank you for coming. On behalf of Veterans and Politics International, just to give you a brief overview of this process, the panel members will be given will give you a 30-second introduction just so you understand who's asking you the questions. And then once we do that, we'll enter our question and answer period. When you're asked a question, you'll be given 45 seconds to respond. I know it's tough. It's a tough timeline, but we got a lot of candidates today. But before we get to the question and answers, I'll give you a 30-second introduction of yourself. Please just state your name, what office you're running for, and then at the very end of this, you'll be given a 45-second window in order to conclude. Your name, why you're running, and also campaign information. My name is Jim Jonas. I'm the Director of Veterans and Politics International, and I also co-host the podcast with Steve Sanson. Thank you.
Hello, Claudia. Thank you for coming. My name is Gianno Amato. Lived here all my life. I'm a local entrepreneur.
Well, Claudia, thank you for coming. My name is Robert Faust. I'm a third-generation VFW. My father was in World War I, or my grandfather was in World War I. My father was in World War II. I was in Vietnam. We were all conscripted. After the war, I played professional baseball for about 10 years. I have 2 authored books on the market right now, and I spent 4 years to federal penitentiary for drug smuggling.
Claudia, do you want to go ahead and give your 30 or 45-second introduction, please?
Yes, my name is Claudia Kintigh. I'm running for State Assembly District 8. I'm a native Las Vegan. I was born at Nellis Air Force Base. My dad served in Vietnam. And I presently have a son also serving in the U.S. Army. My grandfather was a U.S. Navy vet as well, so my son is third-generation military. Very proud to serve my community. The reason why I'm running is I'm a concerned parent. I have 6 children in the Clark County School District, well, 4 now, and I'm not liking the way the state is being run as far as education. Being a native Las Vegan, I can tell you the schools were better when I was there.
Okay, thank you for that. So I only have one question for you. So we proposed a bill on behalf of Veterans and Politics last legislative session, and unfortunately it died in committee, and the legislation is called Remove or Retain. Okay, so I'll explain to you exactly what remove or retain means. So if we have a judge in this state that runs, an incumbent judge that runs unopposed, okay, then it goes to the ballot. So the voters can decide whether to remove or retain that judge. If retain gets more votes, then the judge stays. Now, if they don't and remove gets more, now then what happens is it goes to the Judiciary Appointment Board. All the judges have an opportunity to file to that board, and then they choose 3, and then those 3 go to the governor, and the governor appoints them. Would you be willing to support that bill? And the reason why we're pushing this bill so hard is because incumbent judges in the state of Nevada have a huge advantage. And what ends up happening is that because we elect judges, you have all these attorneys that come in, and they're giving money to these judges. Well, they're afraid to oppose that judge in the courtroom. So would you be willing to support that type of legislation to kind of try to clear up? It's kind of a compromise, right?
Yeah, I would say, and I would add to that, to educate the public more on who the judges are. I realize that they're bipartisan, but you just have a name on the ballot, myself, and you don't really know what to do unless you're faced with that judge, which I have vast experience in family court. And I can tell you, you're at the mercy of the judge. You're not at the mercy of your peers. And that judge might have biases, and no matter what kind of parent you are or what, you're at the mercy of that judge. And I just don't think that's fair for the kids or for the parents involved.
Okay, Claudia. So my first question is about basically. So we have a judge here in Las Vegas. Okay, we have evidence. Okay, of he committed a crime. Right. If you commit a crime, you're called a criminal. Right. So I bought. I got mobile billboards. I'm going to be driving them all around town. Most likely, we're going to have his face on there and any other corrupt attorney or family judge. Okay. We're going to make sure we put them all out there. Would you support a bill? Okay. Would you write a bill? Okay. For Matthew Harder. So we're referring to Matthew Harder. We had a situation where he basically tried to terminate my rights. He tried to terminate my rights. Okay. You have to be a drug addict. You have to not take care of your kid. You have to do something. I don't do drugs. There is absolutely no reason. So it's illegal to use basically termination as a sword, right? What I do is I make sure, okay, nobody could use nothing against me, okay? I have to terminate my rights for my child, right? They are so corrupted now because of this judge, okay? Because he was so biased and he wants to prove a point. Anyways, if a judge is biased, okay, or if we can prove that they committed a crime, would you write a bill to get them the hell off that damn bench?
Absolutely, and I can speak from personal experience on that. I have, I don't know if I have time to tell you my personal story on that. My husband's ex-wife was on crack, and she had my stepson, who's my son, in the car with her. She got in an accident. There was a police report filed, everything. She left him at the school, and they called me and said, if you don't come pick him up, we're going to call CPS. So I picked up my son from kindergarten. She was gone for 4 years. All of a sudden, we're trying to remove her parental rights, and she shows up out of nowhere, the loving mother that she is, and the judge refused to terminate her parental rights and give full custody to my husband. And I just think it's wrong because it's kind of like the women always get the fair, the rights, and no matter what a woman does, the dad can't catch a break. And I just think that's unfair. And and I'm a woman. I'm just telling you, I see the way the courts are run. And if a judge has a track record of being slanted in that direction and not putting the kids first and where they should be and what household they should be, absolutely get them out of there and let the public know. Public shaming is important, I think, in my opinion.
So what religion are you and what party do you represent?
I am a conservative Christian. I go to Beautiful Savior Lutheran Church. I hope my pastor doesn't get mad at me for saying that. And I am a Republican.
Right. Well, I got a little, it's actually probably the toughest question you're going to ask in this endorsement interview. Give me the boundaries of your district. I know it looks like a jigsaw puzzle, but as roughly as you can.
Oh, that's a good question. When I went downtown, I was supposed to be 35, and they redistricted me. My campaign manager didn't know. Nobody really knew until I went down there. And I challenged them. I'm like, wait a second, I'm 35. So now I'm District 8. So I think I lost Mountain's Edge, so I no longer have Mountain's Edge, and they pushed me further into, I don't even know what it is. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I should have brought the map. I have to study it a little more, but the demographics are totally different from what I already had. And I already had all my stuff. I had to throw everything away that said 35 because I represent 8. But it's still the same fight, no matter what district it is.
8, no, trust me, I understand gerrymandering and redistricting way too well. That's why I said it was going to be a tough question.
Yes. Well, and I want to add, too, actually, they did me a favor secretly because I'm half Mexican. And my mom is was from Mexico. I just lost her in September, but they gave me a lot of Hispanics in my district. So I don't think they knew what they were doing when they messed with me.
Okay, so a follow-up. Basically, let me explain kind of my situation. So basically, Matthew Harder, he got reversed and in the Court of Appeals here in Nevada. He actually got recused off my case, okay? That never happens, okay? Never, barely ever, should I say, okay? That's how bad the situation was, right? And, I'm the kind of person that I'm going to make sure to take anything, okay, that you can use against me. My own child, okay? Basically, I have to terminate my own rights, okay? But it don't end there, right? I'm the kind of person that goes, and I never stop. So I could guarantee you on his next election, I will be there. I will make sure he does not get elected again, okay? By all legal means necessary to clarify that, okay? So anyways, my next question is, what laws would you write? Like, what's your purpose to be elected?
Education is the top one, only because personal experience. I personally believe we need to break up the Clark County School District. We're the 5th largest in the nation, and there's no competition, and there's no accountability for the financial whatevers we're in right now. The kids aren't getting the money. The schools aren't getting the money. I can tell you firsthand, the football program, the orchestra program, the arts program, the teachers, they have to pay for their own things in their classrooms. So where's the money going? And where's the money they saved when the schools were closed? There's zero accountability from the Clark County School District. I believe that the superintendent should not be making $436,000 a year if we're the 49th worst. It should be like a private corporation. You should get a cut or you should get fired. That's the problem. We don't have any competition within the districts.
Okay, great. A follow-up question.
Well, that's only one of many that I'm running on, but that's my primary. My second one is our homeless situation. We have a lot of homeless. It's growing, and we don't have the tools. We have the tools, but everybody's everywhere, and the homeless people really don't have the tools. They don't have like a multi-purpose center or somewhere they can go to get the help that they need. And a lot of them are vets, and a lot of them are kids coming out of the CPS system. And it's broken, and it's something that Sisolak doesn't want to deal with. He likes the growth part, but he doesn't like what's coming. And I believe that homeless people should be treated with dignity and respect as they deserve. And I think we should give them the proper tools to be able to help them come back into society.
Great. Love to hear that. Okay, my next question is, if we have a judge, right, and we're letting them get away with a crime that they committed, right, shouldn't everybody that commits that same crime be able to refer to that judge and say, hey, listen, Matthew Harder in family court got away with it. I need to also be able, they need to also be able to, sweep it under the rug, right, like they talk. What about that? What do you believe in that? Do you think everybody should be able to sweep the exact same crime that the judge swept underneath the rug, right? Everybody needs to be able to get away with it. Or is it only judges that should be able to get away with this?
I might say something controversial right now, but to your point, our governor was in a car accident on October 26th, and he looked inebriated. And his wife showed up after to clean out the car before Metro was able to go into the car. So if I get in a car accident and it's my fault and I look inebriated, should I be held to the same standards as Governor Sisolak?
Okay, so you brought up this actually will be my last question for you. I always say that, and then I have like 10 more. I just, by nature, just talk too much. So anyway, breaking up the Clark County School District, I found that to be a very good idea at first, until I started researching it. So one of the biggest complaints about the Clark County School District, right, is how top-heavy it is and how much money we spend on administrators, correct? Okay, so if we break up the Clark County School District, we are now going to create, so then we have Mesquite will be its own school district. We'll have Moapa be their own, North Las Vegas, Henderson, and then Boulder City. And then still have the CCSD for unincorporated. So you do realize that you just created like 8 more bureaucracies. As a conservative Republican, like you're just adding more levels of government at some point, aren't you?
Not if we eliminate the Department of Education.
Okay. And honestly,
And give the schools back to the parents.
I agree
Give the
with you,
schools
but
back
as an
to the community.
assemblywoman, you do not have the authority to do that. But would you be willing? No, I agree with you 100%. But would you be willing to push as far as getting in contact with Congress people, state senators, because I ask them that, and state board regents all the time? Because I agree with what you're saying. I'm just saying you're going to have to go beyond your scope of control. So will you be willing to drive for that, though?
Absolutely, because my main issue is the kids and we the people. We have to take our country back and give it back to we the people. Give it back to the schools. Give more control back to the parents. So parents are able to do with the funding that they need to do. Like ESA, Education Savings Account should have been funded. It was a good thing. It was a win-win for everyone. But they've lied to everyone and said that the school district would lose money, which if people did their research, that's not how it went down. We need school vouchers. We need more choices for failed schools that the kids just perpetuate, and with the crime and the safety. They can't concentrate on math when they think they're going to get beat up after school. And I lived that because I grew up in North Las Vegas and I went to Roy Martin Junior High. And believe me, when I got out of school, somebody was there to beat me up because I'm half Mexican and half white and whatever other bias they had against me. So I understand the plight of the kids. We need to focus more on the kids. And that's I'll do whatever I can. The breakup of the Clark County School District, we need more accountability. We need to know where the money's going. We need to have bids. Like when they build a new football field, it goes to one person. Why can't we bid on that so that we could save money so the kids can get the money instead of the superintendent and everywhere else? And I also think we need accountability for principals. Principals do not get fired. They bully teachers. Teachers are leaving in droves, mostly because the principal can really do whatever they want, and there's no accountability there. I don't know where the teachers' union is for that one, but I've been in situations where the principal literally drove 80% of the teachers away. They retired early or left because of the way she treated those teachers, and that's not right.
Okay, thank you. And I apologize. I just wanted to push back a little bit because I agree.
Okay.
No, I agree with you 100% about the Department of Education. I just wanted, actually, that was going to be my next question. So you already answered it. Mm-hmm. So thank you for doing that.
You're very welcome.
Robert?
So do you think that teachers are qualified as gender counselors?
As what, sir? I'm sorry.
Gender counselors.
No. Teachers are there to teach reading, writing, and arithmetic. That's your job. Bring back what the school is supposed to be. Social issues are for parents and parents only. You can teach your kid whatever you want at home. I don't care. I may agree or disagree. But going back to Education Savings Account, if we had that, Christian families can put their kids where they see fit, because we're taxpayers and we should have the right to do that. If you're secular, send them to a secular school. If you're Jewish, send them there. If you're Muslim, send them there. We should have rights as parents to teach our kids in the way we see fit. Our kids do not belong to the government. They belong to us. Last I checked, I paid the last medical bill for my 6 kids. So the government has to stay out of the house.
We have time for one more question. Gianna, you want to go?
Yeah. Okay, so talking about, breaking up the school district, I personally believe that'd be a good idea, right? Because if you keep doing the exact same thing, getting the exact same results, what happens, right? So is the whole valley crazy, So I think that would actually be a good idea. I think that anything that has thousands, hundreds of thousands of individuals, and it's not working, you need to try something different. So I think, that isn't a bad idea. But what about the last thing I want to ask, okay, and it don't have to do with education. It has to do with, let's say, a Metropolitan Police Department, Henderson Police Department, if it's so out of control, okay? And let's say there's a lot of bad apples, right? What about, breaking those up also? I understand it's broken up. You got Henderson, you got Las Vegas, but what about breaking them up more, right? What about taking Henderson and breaking it up into 4 different sections, where if there's that way it's a lot easier, right? So it's the same thing. You break up school districts, you're going to be able to zone in on the issues. You're going to be able to zone in on the bullies, What do you think about that?
Breaking up the police departments?
Yes, ma'am.
I haven't thought of that. That's a good question. I'd have to think about that. I thought they were already broken up, like you said. I would have to speak to my police friends to see what their opinion is, because I always like to talk to the people. My thing is, not everyone has a solution to everything if you haven't experienced it personally. So like my solutions to the school is because I've spoken with a lot of teachers. I want to hear what they have to say. I've spoken to parents. I want to hear what they have to say. I'm not here for myself. I'm here to represent we the people. So in order to answer your question, I would have to ask police officers to see what they think and what the solutions they think and see what they bring to the table.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Sorry it's so short, but we're trying to be fair to all the assembly candidates. Oh, and just for just for an FYI, I actually ran for Assembly 8 years and years ago, and I'm sure the district looks completely different. So with that being said, if you want to look directly into the camera and go ahead and you have 1 minute to just make sure you tell the people why they should vote for you, and please make sure you give all your contact information so people can get involved with your campaign.
Hi, my name is Claudia Kintigh. I'm running for State Assembly District 8. I'm wanting to represent you because I am a concerned parent. I'm a military mom. I'm a Vietnam vet daughter. I'm half Mexican, and I'm a native Las Vegas, native Las Vegan, sorry. Also, I work at the South Point as a banquet server, so I understand how difficult it was with the shutdowns. Everyone suffered tremendously with the shutdowns, and I, myself included. So I just want to let you know, as a working person, I'm still working, I'm working tomorrow, a banquet, I understand the high gas prices, I understand the groceries, I understand because I have 6 kids, and I understand that we can never allow this to happen again. And if you vote for me, I will see to it that it never happens again.
Okay, thank you. With that,
My contact?
yes, you need to give your contact
I'm
information,
sorry.
please.
If you want to learn more about me, you can reach me at claudiakintigh4nevada.com. I think it is. Yes.
Okay, thank you. That will conclude our endorsement interview of Nevada State Assembly District number 8. Thank you.